Good morning, Senior Pride here. And this morning I'm going to discuss the issue of aging and faith. Now, there seems to be a stereotype that, we're all very religious as we get older, that we all believe in like a Christian God. It ignores completely the diversity of older people. Some of us, like me, may have been raised in a Jewish home and are atheist or agnostic. There are many atheist or agnostic older people. There are many Christian people. There are many Muslim people. There are many Buddhist people. I get to go on and on, but I think you get the idea. Just because we're older doesn't mean we're kind of obsessing over some kind of higher power and we're sitting in church every day or every week at least. And it doesn't mean we're Christian. It doesn't mean we can't think. Faith is a very individual thing. That's the reality. And to presume that everybody fits the stereotype is kind of sad. It shows an incredible state of ignorance. In my building, for example, the only faith that they support is Christianity. So those of us who come from other faiths or don't have a faith, like myself, but still practices some of the Judaic types of things, like I'm going to, I light the candles at Hanukkah. I don't say the prayers, but I light the candles because it gives me kind of a reminder of childhood. And that's something that faith can do. It can bring you back to things that were special. But the idea that we're not all Christian is very hard for many of these kinds of seniors places to accept. It's, well, everybody's Christian, right? Well, no, we have people here who are Muslim, Buddhist, and on, and we're all basically forced to experience Christian traditions. Our personal traditions are ignored. I find this insulting. I find it aggravating, because why should we be forced to share in traditions that are not our own? And as an atheist, I find it insulting. I have the right to not believe in a higher power. I have the right to be educated, to be experienced, to understand evolution and all that comes with it. We have a lot of science that backs, for example, evolution. Why are we ignoring that? Why are we telling people especially older people, who don't believe that there's something wrong? And we're not saying it overtly, but we're saying it inherently by the way we treat older people, that they must follow this kind of Christianity-based faith. Now, that being said, as an atheist, I've learned to just shut up and sit down on this one, because boy, do people get angry when anybody says your God is not everybody's God. I don't believe in God. We have folks here who have different beliefs. I follow some of the Jewish faith rituals. It's very unfortunate that we assume these things. It's more than unfortunate, but I can't use that word here. As someone who does, like every year, for instance, at Hanukkah, I pick Hanukkah because it's one of the big ones, because Christmas is one of the big ones here. And so I'll ask them when they do the whole Christianity thing and God and Jesus and all that crap. And I shouldn't have said crap. I'm sorry. I realize that some of you really do respect that and follow that. But they have a very hard time understanding that some of us have other holidays, and we would like some of our rituals followed, or at least some of our decorations put up. So in my room, I light those candles. Now, my fellow people who are not Christian or who don't follow a faith are also in that same situation where they have to kind of deal with their personal religion privately and publicly put on this, oh sure, I belong to this Christianity kind of thing. So yes, I realize I'm probably offending Christians, but you're not the only faith. In fact, some of us don't actually celebrate a faith. We don't believe in a higher power. We should be respected about that. Now, For those of you who hold these stereotypes, for some of you younger folks who hold these stereotypes about older people, that we're all really obsessed with God and because we're going to die soon. Well, first of all, I'm not going to die soon. I come from a family of women who live very long lives. So if that has anything to do with it and my health behaviors have anything to do with it, I've got a few years left. And there are a number of folks here who I think are going to live a long time. Don't assume that we're waiting to go and therefore we're sitting in a church praying to something that'll take us up. The fact is, most of us are living our lives. We're not really thinking about, oh, am I going to die tomorrow? Anybody could die tomorrow. I'm going to say something really horrible to make you think about this. Your 7-year-old could die tomorrow. That's the reality. Nobody knows when they're going to go, so why would we obsess over it? I promise you I will get to reflection one of these days, because I kind of touched on it just now. Most of us know it is what it is. That's one of the great things about being older. You kind of accept. It is what it is. When I go, I go. If I go tomorrow, I go tomorrow. If I go 40 years from now, I go 40 years from now. In fact, I was reading, this is a little bit off topic, but I was reading some of the stats in Canada. About 50% of older people live to between 80 and 90, and 1 in 10 of older people get past 100. So some of us have a long life left. And faith may or may not be part of it. It may or may not play a role in our lives. The choice of our faith may or may not be part of it. We may celebrate our faith deeply, or we may just practice some old rituals. But don't assume. Faith is a very individual thing, and I think most of us know that inherently. We just get kind of caught up in what's going on in society with this push to everybody follow the same faith. I know it's happening in the United States very, very significantly. There are schools that are trying to stop teaching evolution, which is very disturbing. We've got people who are suing school systems for teaching evolution. I noticed one couple lost, and that's a good thing. But they're also putting up like pictures of Jesus in classrooms, and not everybody celebrates that. So please don't force your faith on others, and certainly don't assume that your faith is what others follow. Some of us have no faith, and we're proud of it. I like being atheist. I can think for myself. I don't have to assume that everything is done for me. I know full well that I'm responsible for my own life, which is a wonderful feeling because it gives me control over my own life. And for those of you who do follow a faith, I applaud you. But please don't assume everybody should do the same as you. Thank you.